I feel like what's his name from Pokemon? Giovanni, when he has Persian on him, like this. I wanted to start like a show with you guys, kind of like a series, where once a week I'll drop some knowledge and some information and tips that I feel like both you guys can benefit from. And I've always wanted to have a podcast. Well, not always wanted to have a podcast, but I've always wanted to be on podcasts just because I have so many opinions and I type them out on my IG and stuff. It's not the same. It's better to just sit down and talk. So this will be kind of like a one-on-one when we sit down, kind of like a therapy session. I will be going over vending tips for new vendors, also older vendors that have been vending longer than me. I'll be going over some information, not today, but we'll do a different episode on that, of people that just casually wants to go to shows and kind of what to look for, some tricks that I have where you can make good money, what to expect, what not to expect, and then just overall nonsense of Pokemon hobby, like what's hot now, which set do I like, which set do I not like, what I think you guys should invest in, which company is doing good, like we can talk about grading, we can talk about anything. So once a week I'll try to do this. Even when I'm traveling in Europe this summer, I will try to just get one episode in every week where I just talk about a bunch of nonsense. So let's get into today's episode, which will be vending for beginners. So this is going out for new people that want to start vending. I'm getting a ton of DMs on this, and I just figured that like I've only been vending for like a year, so I'm not a veteran, but I'm very attentive. So I look around and I understand things. I'm very good at making money, and I never got into Pokemon to make money, but since I want to build out my PC, make it bigger and bigger, I usually use the money that I make from vending into buying better and bigger cards. So I'm going to go into some pointers right now, and hopefully that will help you guys with your vending, like your first time vendors. Obviously, I have a lot of strong opinions if you follow my IG, which is fine. This is my YouTube channel, so I'll be very blunt, honest, and opinionated. But we're going to start with point number one, what to do as a new vendor. So you want to ask a lot of questions, right? But the most important thing as a new vendor is you have to become your own entity, something that differentiates you from the herd. You have to have your own style, your own swagger. You go to a show, everybody does the same thing. They all sit down on their phones. They're all like, oh, I'm just vending today. I'm just making some money. Like I do this 4 or 5 times a week. Yeah, they've been doing the same thing for a year and they still haven't like upgraded and done better and better and better. Their inventory is usually the same. That's not the guy you want to be. You want to become that person that like you go to 3 or 4 shows and people are like, yo, who's that guy? Like he always has a good vibe. He's always fair. People go from your booth and go to another booth. They're like, yo, the guy over there is super fair. I like him. Who is he? Like you want to become that person. So in order for you to become successful, you have to become your own entity and you have to become your own person. You just have to like in life, everybody that follows each other, they usually end up working a 9 to 5 in their hometown, married to their high school sweetheart. That's also fine, but I don't know if that's the life that you want. If you want to become successful, make a lot of money, and make a noise in the world, you have to step out of that comfort zone. So even in vending, you have to look at life a little bit differently. You have to be able to just staple yourself, and in 3 or 4 shows you want to become known already. You don't want to wait 2-3 years. A lot of these vendors, they've been vending for 2-3 years before they even became a name or anybody knew about them. So yeah, in general, just that's one of my first tips for you guys. All right, number 2, which even old vendors can use, new vendors, everybody. I don't like that whole culture of I only buy PSA. Not for the fact that this is nothing against PSA. This is more you as a person. So you get people coming up to your booth and they're like, hey, I have these 3 CGC slabs I want to sell. You're like, no, sorry, I only buy PSA. You don't know what that person could have at home. You don't know what other sorcery of crazy items he could have at home. He could be sitting on a first edition base set booster box at home. You wouldn't know because you just told him to leave because he has CGC. It doesn't matter what somebody's selling. You're buying the card, not the actual grading company. A lot of CGC 10s later converts to PSA or tag 10s, which I've done a lot with, as you guys know. I bought a Legendary Collection Gengar for $27,000, flipped it for $250,000 because I cracked it from a CGC 10, graded it with a with tag, and it got a 10. So The point being is, don't have that mentality. Just because other big vendors are like, no, I only buy PSA, doesn't mean you have to be like that. You can also take in other grading companies. My suggestion is to you guys is obviously not companies like Ace and AGS and stuff like that, not those, but like Tag, BGS, PSA, CGC. Those are the 4 main companies that I think you guys should always take a look at. When somebody comes to your booth, just say, okay, I'll look at what you have. You don't know, they might have something crazy. It might be like a CGC 7 that cost half the price of what that card is raw. You just go home, crack it out, and you sell the raw card. There's a million different ways of making money. Don't exclude yourself to one way of like flipping. A lot of the big PSA guys, like I'm not gonna say names, but all the guys in the space, like vendors, they usually only take in PSA because they want a quick flip. I didn't get into this game just to flip. I didn't get into this game because of money. I got into this game because I love the art and the nostalgia. Like it takes me back to my childhood looking at these cards. It's stuff that I couldn't afford. So when you buy stuff, look at it. You don't know. It might be something in there that you've never seen. You're like, oh my God, I love this card. Oh, it's Tag? No, I don't want it. You don't even know. It might be a very expensive card, but with Tag it's not as expensive. So just food for thought on that. But yeah, so my tip to you, just to summarize it, is always be open to looking at other slabs from different companies besides PSA. I feel like having 3 or 4 CGC, Tag, BGS slabs in your showcase attracts a new audience, a new clientele that you usually wouldn't get if you only have PSA. I have tons of people that comes up to my booth and they're like, hey, do you have any CGC? Do you have any Tag? Do you have any BGS? When I say no, they just move on to the next table, but they might buy more from you later. Even if you just have one, it attracts a different clientele. That's a big tip that I would give you guys. Now that we've gone over the first 2 pointers, we're gonna go over a third one. Pricing out your products the night before or 2 nights before or whenever you do it. The amount of time it takes to price out, if you have a lot of cards, both slabs and sealed, the amount of time that it takes to look up all the prices, make sure the comps are correct, take out the price tag, no matter how you do it, even if you write it or have a price tag machine or whatever, it takes forever, like 4 hours, 5 hours. It really takes so much time out of your day. And the other show that I did, West Coast Card Show last weekend, I started thinking, every single time somebody comes to my booth and asks for a card and we're about to do a deal, let's say I have a price tag of $500, right? He literally will take out Alt, Card Ladder, whatever, look up the price, and then I will take the card back. Pick up Collector, Card Ladder, whatever, look up the price. We're both standing there like jerk-offs for 5 minutes, pulling up the prices back and forth. What's the point? I priced it out the night before, but all we do anyways is sit and price them out together because every person want to make sure the price is correct. So at the end of the day, pricing out your slabs is pointless in my opinion. The only thing you do is saving time on people coming up to your booth and not asking for the price. But there's a benefit to that. If people come up to your booth, that starts engagement. It starts people coming to your booth and being like, yo, how much is that card? You might make a sale just based off of him coming up. But if he sees the price tag and it's like $200 above comps, then he might be like, I don't want to deal with that guy. But he doesn't know. You might be a cool guy. You might cut that price by $200 if he talks to you, if he brings it up. So that's a good way of doing it. However, singles, I do believe, could benefit a little bit of pricing. Singles are a bit easier because singles stay kind of on the same curve for weeks at a time. So if a single is $500 this week, it usually is $520 or $480 within the last couple of weeks anyways. Because singles don't move crazy unless there's a new card coming out. Or like there's a Rayquaza set, then all Rayquaza cards goes up. Other than that, singles kind of stay the same. Slabs, however, they move so quickly. Last night there was a sale for $3K. Next morning you wake up, you go to the show, there's another sale for $3,300 and you might lose $300 because you price it at $3K. So for that reason, I do believe that singles is better to price. Slabs, waste of time. Also, singles are way easier because singles, you price them out based on condition a lot of the time. So if somebody looks it up and it says $5, but your card might be flawless and that card in a 10 might be $500. So you might price it out at $150. They can't really argue with that. If they are, then just be like, sorry, I'll grade it then. So pricing out raw cards is a good idea. Pricing out slabs, not so good. My suggestion is don't even do that. So my suggestion to you guys is do not price out slabs. It takes too much time out of your night. Just price out the singles and then go to the shows, pull out all your slabs. Also, a lot of the stickers that you put on the slabs, they actually stick once you take them off, which is mad annoying. You have to clean the slab for like 20 minutes. You don't want to do that. So you can put guards on them now. You don't have to worry about putting a price tag, nothing, and just clean looking in your case. Point number 4, always be a fair vendor. People will remember it. People will talk about it. They will walk around, they walk off from your booth and be like, yo, that guy was really, really fair. That guy was really nice. A family of 3 kids comes up. You give them like a Pikachu card for $3. You give like the smallest child like a card for free. It's okay. It's just a card game for all us adults. It's just for fun. This is not life or death. You're not selling security alarms for FBI. You know what I mean? You are just selling Pokemon cards to families, to other collectors. Be nice, be fair, give stuff out, give deals. If there's a $20 raw card, give it for 18. Who cares? Give $2 off. If the card is $500, give it for $450. Who cares? You have to give deals, because if you don't give deals, you won't get clientele that like follows you and supports you. Because I've given out so many things. I don't do it to get their following. I just do it because I'm a caring, giving person. I just like giving stuff to people. But I've gotten so many supporters over the years because I've been so fair, not just in Pokemon. I've worked in nightlife my whole life. So when I'm in nightlife, I take care of people. I give them stuff for free. I take care of them. I'm hospitable. So you guys need to be the same, and then you'll get the clientele that will support you. When you start dropping merch or you post a video on YouTube, they will be the first ones to support, go comment, like, whatever. So my main point out of all the points that I said, this is the most important one. Be fair as a vendor. I promise you it will go a long way. You do not want to be like those greedy things at the shows. There's a lot of vendors that's straight assholes, okay? They won't even budge over $5. They'll sit and do like a deal, and the last number is like 5,340. You're like, can we do 5,300? He's like, no, sorry, I can't do that. Bro, don't do deals with them. They're greedy and they're bad, and you don't want to have any association with them. I hate those people. Matter of fact, they're my sworn enemies. Out of everybody at shows, those are the worst people. You don't want to deal with the greedy $2 nickel and dime vendors. They're losers, and we probably can't add that, so be on to the next point. All right, we're either on point number 5 or 6. I don't even care about the points anymore. Now we're just talking like you and me one-on-one. We're just having a little session for free. I'm just giving out game because I care about you guys, and I want you guys to be successful. I want you guys to make money. I want you guys to build a PC like this. There's enough money and cards in the world for all of us to be happy. We don't need to be greedy. It's just Pokemon, bro. We're just having fun. People need to stop being so serious. You know those vendors that sit there with like 7 slabs in their case, and they have like a price tag of like 300% of last sale, and you look at them, and then half the cards also have for PC, not for sale. Half the case says not for sale. The other half, the prices are outrageous and nobody will ever pay for it. So basically what they're doing, they're just paying money to sit there and look like idiots and just like, yeah, I'm just sitting here. I just paid $700 for this table. For what? Just to brag or like have high prices? You don't want to be that person. So that's not even a pointer. That's just tip. Do not be that person. Okay. Last pointer is, oh yeah. When it comes to picking up raw cards from other people, always make sure that the cards are not altered or recolored. Recolored meaning the back has like whitening and somebody colored it with like blue and took away the whitening. A lot of cards have that these days. I had to learn the hard way. My third show, I was like, oh my God, there's so many good singles everywhere. I will go to every vendor, just pick up like $20,000 worth of singles. I come home and I give it to my guy that's like an expert that looks over all my cards to make sure that they're in good condition. And he looks at me, he's like half of your cards are altered. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, come here, shows me with a little telescope. And I'm like, what is it? And he's like, look here, and you can see that it's colored. So I had to message a lot of the vendors. Luckily, I had their Venmos and stuff, so I found them. But a lot of times you're paying cash. You won't even remember who it was because you're picking up so many cards. So always make sure you take pictures and make sure you remember which vendor it was that sold you the raw cards. But I had to message them and be like, yo, you sold me like 5K worth of raw cards and half of them are recolored. I need my money back. And luckily they did it because they know I have a big presence. I have a big Instagram, a big following. I'll blow people up. But let's say you're nobody. I'm not saying you, but the person that's out there, just like a family dad, he's not somebody that will scare the vendor to pay back. So always try, if you're a vendor, if somebody comes to you and you sold them a card that wasn't the condition that it was supposed to be, just give them the money back. Be a good person. It's not worth the 20 bucks, 50 bucks, 100 bucks, whatever. They will remember it and you will look like a good person. Your reputation is everything in this space. People will always talk about you. Everybody talks at shows. I know everybody that's cheap and I know everybody that's nice. People come up to me, for example, Faisal from Clover Cards, they always come up to me and they compare us. They're like, you guys are the fairest vendors here because we're so fair. We don't care. We just give kids stuff. We always give out deals. We do he doesn't do coin flips, halal, but I do a lot of coin flips. I only do it for fun. I don't do it for the gambling part of it. I don't even like gambling, which is crazy because I became like the coin flipper guy in the space. I don't even know how I became that guy. But point being, always make sure you guys check your own inventory of raw cards before putting them out. Because it might look like near mint, but it might have a little damage on it. If you sell it and the person picks it up as near mint, and the next day they're like, yo, he sold me a damaged card. And he might be an asshole and post that and be like, this vendor sold me this card and it was damaged, even though you didn't even know about it. So just be careful when you're putting out cards. Always make sure that both you guys check the condition and you're happy with it. That takes us into the last part, which will be the closing ceremony of the episode. What will the close? I don't even know. By the way, I'm freestyling everything that I'm saying right now. I don't even know what the closing ceremony is, but we're going to come up with a closing ceremony. Give me like a minute. So we're going to go over a couple of things that I think are underrated and stuff that you guys should invest in. So one set that I believe is very underrated that still hasn't popped off is, funny enough, right behind me, Brilliant Stars, okay? I'm just gonna take out the Zard from Brilliant Stars. As you guys can see, a very underrated card. And the Japanese one, the Charizard 276XY Japanese, is selling for about $10,000. It's the same thing, is Venusaur fighting Charizard, but that card is almost 10,000 now. This is the same card, but in English, it's not the same, but it's the same art. So it's sick. This is a great card to invest in. Another Pokemon I think is a great investment right now, obviously the Rayquaza, because the new Rayquaza set is coming out this summer. But my main tip to you guys is nobody can predict the future, right? The way I made my money in Pokemon is I collected the art. That's all. I just collect the art that I like, and somehow it worked out. If I see something that I like, I just pick it up. It can be raw, graded. It doesn't even matter which Pokemon it is. Obviously, I love Alakazam, Gengar, and Houndoom. Those are my 3 favorite Pokemon. But I have so many more Pokemon in my collection everywhere just because of the art. I really like the art of a Pokemon. So that's really where my main tip to you guys that's out at shows or you don't really know where to start. If it's for yourself, buy stuff that you like. If you see an art you like or a Pokemon you like, just buy it. Don't wait. Every time you wait, you end up losing that deal and then the price just goes up 5 times. So the best way is to, when you see something, you just pick it up and you stick with it. Even if it goes down or it goes up, you stick with it because you like it and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what the price tag is. Try to always get a good deal, obviously. But if you can't, pick it up. Most of these things I waited until they were too expensive. I'll give you a great example of this Alakazam, which is a Skyridge Alakazam. I have 5 of them now. At the time when they were $1,500 each, I didn't buy them because I was like, oof, they were $1,000 last week. They're now $8,500 each, and my average price of each of the 5 is about $7,700. So I paid like 7 times what I could have paid for back in the days if I just bought it when I wanted it. So now I like it so much I can't avoid buying it. So I have 5 of them. I have every single one over there. It's just my favorite artwork of all time. So my suggestion is just buy the things that makes you happy and eventually it will work out. And if you're gonna vend, buy stuff that's popular. Don't buy EXs or like lower end slabs. Like my suggestion is don't buy those smaller stuff from a set. Try to go for the bigger cards, the chases. Even if it's a PSA 9 or a tag 9, go for the chase card of every set because people are usually after those cards. Nobody wants a $40 slab or $70 slab usually. There might be some, but you don't wanna focus on that. You can have a couple of those slabs. Try to focus on more the higher end stuff because you can flip those quicker and there's more money in those and more people will come in and trade you. And when they trade you at 80%, 85%, 90%, whatever. you'll make that trade in and then you sell their cars, and that way you just keep stacking up your money and making more money. So that's my last tip to you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and if you guys like it and if I see that it has like good engagement, then I'll do another one. If you guys don't like it, I'm just gonna retire with this episode. So I want to help you guys out. Much love. Thank you everybody for at home for watching. I sound like a newscaster ending this show for the night. Thank you guys. Okay, we'll see you later. Bye.